Baby, picture jolting awake inside a multi-million-dollar palace wrapped by one of the most dominant dynasties in Hollywood, just to discover you aren't a visitor. You're an experiment who must obey a maze of demands. Imagine standing at rock bottom, fighting a collapsing liver, a brutal dependency, and the ache of burying your brother. And watching a woman you respect stare you in the eyes and promise you she's the sole cure, only to exploit and abandon you. That's precisely the nightmare August, Music, Alsina endured, engineered by Will and Jada Smith. And while Jada perched at that red table sipping tea and sharpening language like entanglement to minimize a year's SL-long liaison, August was out there hemorrhaging his sanity, his cash, and his health. Now, allegedly, August is among the voices boarding the Smith derailment. And judging by what I've learned, homie is unloading every unspoken rule he was compelled to follow to soothe Jada's pride. Like how allegedly he was quietly Will's shadow lover while Jada served merely as the smokescreen. Ahem. Naturally, we remember that back in 2020, August asserted that he and Jada carried an affair for years, insisting that it happened with Will's complete awareness and consent from the start, sanctioned quietly. Sealed behind closed doors by the family's inner circle.
I actually sat down with Will and had a conversation due to the transformation from their marriage to life partnership that they've spoken on several times, and it, not involving romanticism. He gave me his blessing, and I totally gave myself to that relationship for years of my life, and I truly and really, really deeply loved and have a ton of love for.
In that same interview, he went even further, confessing that his emotions for Jada ran dangerously deep, admitting he surrendered years of his life completely to that bond. He also, Music, revealed that he finally broke his silence because the whispers were poisoning his career and shredding his name, costing him major deals and valuable partnerships along the way. Music, and even while stressing how intense his love for Jada truly was, he opened up about how brutal it felt to detach, saying the situation nearly, Music, destroyed him, forcing him to choose survival over attachment, and leaving him permanently altered by what he lived through. Still, if you really study the situation closely, it becomes clear that August wasn't protected, he was being exploited by Jada. After all, both Jada and Will Smith openly acknowledged that August was extremely ill when he first entered their world, and Jada herself claimed her main priority was stabilizing his health and mental state. Music, so why would she transform that fragile dynamic into something sexual, fully aware of everything August was enduring? Well, allegedly, there were also several rigid conditions that August was required to obey under Will and Jada's roof. The Music first rule was that August could never exist simply as a lover. He had to be treated as a project. At the time, August was already battling addiction and serious medical issues, so the romance had to be disguised as mentorship or healing, allowing them to rationalize it internally. Another disturbing detail is that August was allegedly forbidden from ever using Jada's real name. In August's music video Nah, viewers spotted a text message from a contact labeled Karen, a lesser-known name connected to Jada. Even with Will's supposed blessing, secrecy ruled everything, and aliases ensured the digital evidence stayed buried if a phone ever vanished or was compromised. Of course, the most critical rule was silence. August was never allowed to speak publicly about the relationship or the so-called entanglement. August later explained that he stayed quiet out of respect for the Smith family and because he never wanted to be the source of chaos. He was also reportedly reminded that this was never a traditional relationship with expectations of marriage or permanence, especially since Jada viewed her marriage to Will as a lifelong alliance. And we already know that this alliance has always defied convention. From the very beginning, Will and Jada granted themselves the freedom to define their own boundaries, and they've never hidden that fact. For example, Jada once told HuffPost, "I've always told Will, you can do whatever you want as long as you can look at yourself in the mirror and be okay. Because at the end of the day, Will is his own man. I'm here as his partner, but he is his own man. He has to decide who he wants to be, and that's not for me to do for him or vice versa."
I made a promise that there will never be a reason for us to get a divorce. We will work through whatever. And I just haven't been able to break that promise.
But you still live separately.
Actually, Will has repeated more than once that walking away was never on the table for them. He even went on The Ellen Show and flat out said he realized divorce simply could not exist as an option. It really was that final. Then he echoed the same stance with MTV News, explaining that divorce with Jada was off limits because he stood before God and vowed till death do us part. In his words, there were only two endings. One, they stay together until death, or two, he's dead. So yes, August was made painfully aware that whatever he had with Jada was never a traditional relationship with promises of marriage or permanence, because Jada defined her marriage to Will as a lifelong alliance. Anyway, while the romance was unfolding, August was constantly photographed at Smith family gatherings, music, framed as a beloved family friend or almost an adopted son. That meant the rule here was clear. In public, he had to perform as the bonus son, even if he and Jada were crossing lines in private. When cameras appeared, he was strictly expected to be Jaden's brother, nothing more. And here's the kicker, allegedly, there was another unspoken rule that August was never allowed to talk about other things happening inside that house, including Will and Jada's extracurricular arrangements. I mean, when it comes to Will Smith, the rumors alone have been endless. Just look at the wild, eyebrow-raising claims Orlando Brown once made about Will Smith.
Don't you ever think that shit's cool? That was the first setup, bro. You raped me, then turned me into a kid. You feel me? Took my house, took all my shit, start raping my family members and all kind of shit, bro. You a up person, You a up person. Yes, Will Smith is Michael Jackson,
There was also a moment when Trisha Peace leveled explosive accusations after claiming Will Smith was involved with one of their male dancers. What unfolded was Trisha defending Shane Dawson amid cancellation chaos. And she didn't hold back toward Jada, who had criticized Shane for allegedly disrespecting Willow Smith. Trisha dragged Jada for speaking publicly, saying she should redirect that energy toward her own husband, who was allegedly entangled with male dancers. Phew. There's also a clip where Brother Ball described Will grabbing another man's body and allegedly fiddling with his chest. Music, and speaking of brothers, he also detonated another claim, alleging Will Smith once had a secret hookup with Dwayne Martin. To music, be fair, Will and Dwayne's close bond has long raised eyebrows, with rumors swirling for years that something deeper was happening. And they didn't exactly quiet the chatter when they vacationed nonstop together, Sin City, Las Vegas, Miami getaways, and even a private Trinidad cruise, all while Tisha Campbell and Jada stayed home. Below also alleged that Will and Jada's blood brother had been involved for years. Yes, the same brother seen massaging Will in that viral clip where Will said, "Only a man knows what a man needs."
The man. Hey, the pressure changed to y'all. Only a man knows what a man needs.
Basically, August was forbidden from saying a single word about what was unfolding inside that house. And now people are even claiming they can't believe Jada Pinkett traumatized August Alsina so deeply that it completely rewired him. Then others argue that August Alsina was really meant for Will, and Jada was nothing more than the disguise. I mean, if that's true, that would be the wildest plot twist of the year. But honestly, when you examine the so-called rules Jada allegedly enforced, it's impossible not to feel sympathy for August, because the entire situation feels like a psychological snare masked as healing. Talk about selfishness. Jada essentially pulled a vulnerable, sick young man into her high-powered orbit, cloaked the dynamic in spiritual mentor language, and then expected him to accept life as her hidden entanglement. It's deeply unfair because while she preserved her life partner brand with Will Smith and kept her multi-million-dollar throne intact, music, August was left absorbing all the emotions and professional backlash. She practically treated him like a sandbox for her own self-exploration. But the moment he wanted recognition as a real human with real feelings, she flipped to that icy, "I was finding happiness within myself" storyline. Child, if that isn't the ultimate power flex, what is? Jada walked away with the devotion of a man half her age, while he was left with heartbreak and a reputation as a homewrecker for a situation she and Will essentially approved in private. But seriously, do you believe August was really meant for Will, and Jada was just the cover story? Have you ever considered it from that angle? And what do you think about all those rules he allegedly had to follow? Drop your thoughts in the comments section below.